Take a breath. Close your eyes if you're somewhere safe. And let's talk about something you might not be saying out loud. You feel like a fraud. You're surrounded by people who've been doing this for years, and you're the newbie. Again. At an age when you thought you'd have it all figured out. Imposter syndrome at 35, 40, 45, it hits different. And I want you to know, you're not alone in this feeling. Here's what makes imposter syndrome harder when you're mid-career. You've already proven yourself once. You've already climbed a ladder, earned respect, built credibility. And now you're starting over in some ways. And that feels vulnerable in a way it didn't at 22. At 22, everyone expects you to be figuring it out. At 35, people expect you to have it figured out, including you. So when you walk into that new environment, that new industry, that new role, and you don't immediately know everything, it feels like failure. It feels like you're faking it. Like everyone's going to realize you don't belong. But here's the truth you need to hear: you're not an imposter. You're a beginner. And there's a massive difference. An imposter is someone pretending to have skills they don't have. A beginner is someone honest about being new while actively learning. You're not faking anything. You're learning. And learning requires not knowing first. The vulnerability you feel? That's not weakness. That's growth. That's what it looks like when someone capable enough to have succeeded before chooses to stretch themselves again. Here's what nobody tells you: your age and experience are actually assets, not liabilities. Yes, you're new at this specific thing. But you're not new at learning. You're not new at adapting. You're not new at figuring complex things out. You've done hard things before. You know how to do hard things. That 25-year-old who's been in this industry longer than you? They might know the technical details better right now. But you know how to navigate office politics. You know how to manage your time. You know how to communicate with different personality types. You know how to handle pressure. You're not starting from zero. You're starting from experience, with a new skill set to add on top. And here's something else: your questions are better. Because you have context. You're not just asking, "How do I do this?" You're asking, "How does this connect to that?" Your learning has depth because you're integrating new knowledge into existing frameworks. The people who've only ever done one thing might know that thing deeply. But you're building something they can't: cross-functional expertise. The ability to see patterns across industries. To connect dots others miss. That's not being an imposter. That's being multidimensional. So here's what I want you to do when imposter syndrome hits. First, name it. Out loud if possible. This is imposter syndrome. I'm feeling vulnerable because I'm learning something new at a stage when I expected to be an expert. That's normal. Second, separate facts from feelings. Fact: you're new at this specific task. Feeling: you're a fraud who doesn't belong. One is true. One is not. Third, remember your proof pile. You've succeeded before. You've overcome challenges before. You've learned new things before. Your track record proves you're capable. This time won't be different. And finally, give yourself the same grace you give anyone else learning something new. You wouldn't judge a friend for not knowing everything on day one. Stop judging yourself. Imposter syndrome at this age feels intense because the stakes feel higher. Because you have more to lose. Because vulnerability feels scarier when you've built something already. But courage isn't the absence of that fear. Courage is feeling it and showing up anyway. You belong in that room. You belong on that path. Not because you know everything, but because you're willing to learn. And that willingness? That's what actually matters. Keep going. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Thank you for taking 5 minutes with me today. If this helped, give it a like, subscribe for your daily pep talk, and share it with someone who needs this. Let me know in the comments what resonated most. I'll see you in the next one. You've got this.